Awesome. Okay. So I want to welcome you to day 2 of stepping into the creative flow. I'm super happy that you're here and that I have this opportunity to share the love with you, because I know this is something for me that I've had to deal with all my life as an artist, because of going, just life happens and we go in and out of creating. And I used to like beat myself up about this. And so now I don't do that anymore. I just know that it's kind of like this ebb and flow, and it's something that definitely needs to be nurtured. So if you didn't watch day 1, please go back to yesterday to talk about like the mindset of why we need to, just make this commitment, and how it's going to benefit you, right? Because when you're in that creative flow, you will feel better, right? You're going to have that ripple effect into your family, into the world, right? When you are doing something that makes you happy, that you're passionate about, and it's healing, right? Like I talked about yesterday, it's good for you. So, and we can come in many different forms in our life. All right, looks like we got everybody here. So if you have questions, you're welcome to post them in the chat as they come up. And I want to go ahead and ask you all a question. I know I said congratulations for posting, and I know that it was kind of hard for some of you. And I wanted to know, what did that feel like to do this kind of like focusing? You might have done it before, but what did this feel like for you? If you want to just like put it in the chat and let me know, what was it like for you? I know some of you said it was helpful. And I know some of you thought it was a little challenging. It's kind of with the numbers, when we're putting numbers to things. So I kind of wanted to kind of see where you're at. It was hard to determine an exact number for where to put your time, but helpful for sure. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. So it's really not about time, okay? It's more about just because it could be 20 minutes, it could be an hour, it could be 5 hours, but it's more about what you want to see grow and your commitment to it, of where you've been putting that focus, right? Someone said, yes, it was helpful. I don't usually rate myself with numbers, so that was really new for me. Okay, good. Yeah, numbers should not be scared of the numbers, because numbers give you that opportunity to grow, and they also give you something to celebrate, because as you see that you're focusing your attention, you're going to see that grow. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. Let me see here. Let me get this up here. Okay, go back and share my screen. Okay, so we're gonna play. All right, so setting your intention, that is what we did yesterday in focusing your time. We are gonna do a little review because I feel like there could be a couple tweaks that we could go back, and so you can get a little bit more focused. If anybody has their microphone on, if you could mute it, that just helps clear the air, clear the lines for me. That would be awesome. Day 2 is discovering the blocks. So we are going to be making art about that, about what the blocks look like, and so that we can go ahead and dive deep into what that looks like. Because if we don't know what it is, if we don't actually see it, we're not able to address it, right? So we're going to do that. Tomorrow we're going to be creating rituals, which is going to be fun, as far as just knowing like how to get into our own groove so that we can get started. And then day 4 is choosing that energy. So I have a really cool painting exercise that I want to do with you for that one. And the reason I didn't want to start off with that whole painting exercise, because if we don't clear that mindset, if we don't get like straight and like make a commitment to ourselves, we're going to talk ourselves out of it. So we're going to learn how to speak to ourselves today, especially when those blocks come up. And then day 5 is sharing your gifts with the world, which is incredibly important. Okay, I'm just gonna stop my share of a couple people in here. Hold on one second. Okay, a couple people in the waiting room I'm gonna let in. Okay, awesome. All right. So welcome, welcome. I'm curious, another question for you all. Did you all see some common themes that were going on when you looked at the focus wheel? Just curious. I noticed a couple. I noticed a few people had mentioned that they had some like perfectionist things going on, which I totally understand. I used to be the biggest perfectionist when I was in going to art school. And it led me to like always have this like love-hate relationship with my art. And then I just figured, you know what, I can make ugly art and it's okay if I don't like it. I'm going to make more. And eventually one day I'll have that aha, right? And then you get more ahas. So we got to learn how to be really compassionate with ourselves with this, okay? And especially with our art and our practice. Okay. Let me go back. This looks like I have a new message here. Inner critic. We are very hard on ourselves. Yes. Okay. I'm glad you noticed that too, right? Because that inner critic, which is also our ego, wants you to play small. It's always looking for the fear and wants you to stop and, don't share yourself too much, that type of thing. So we have to be really compassionate with ourselves and know that it's totally normal. You're not the only one. And that when we can identify it, when we can name it, we can reframe it. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Let me see what else it says here. It took me a long time to unlearn all the self-destructive habits I learned. I just lost that. I learned in art school. I still fight them sometimes. All right. So yeah, so I know that we can definitely, learn some things in art school that can be harmful, especially with critiques, because I think with critiques, we're always in that mindset of finding the faults. And I love the Flora Bally interview that we did in the Creative Soul Society. And she had talked about, it's about instead of looking for like what's not working, of looking for what is working. And it's like, wow. If this could be like one little area of your painting or whatever you're working on that's working, go with that, right? So that's definitely a mindset that we want to look at, of not beating ourselves up about stuff. Someone else, Sandy said, I noticed that a lot of us have one or two areas that are strong. Yes. All right. And Lisa liked, if we can name it, we can reframe it. Yes, most definitely. Okay. All right. I'm going to go back to my screen share. Let's see, share screen. Okay, awesome. So I wanted to go over who won the prize yesterday, because I like doing prizes. And one of the, you're supposed to post your focus wheel and then comment on 3 posts. So I want to congratulate Maria Lizeth Gil Castillo, because she went out in there and commented on a whole bunch of people's posts. Oh, she just entered the waiting room. She was here and now she just got here. Amazing. So I think we should let her in, right? And let her know. Okay, let me stop share. And we will congratulate her. Awesome. And I'm going to show her what she won. Hey, Maria. I'm not sure if you can hear us or see us yet. I don't think she's on here yet. Okay. Well, I'm going to show you what she won. I'm going to share my screen again. She won the Creative Soul Society membership, which is we meet twice a month, one for art making about art is healing. Sometimes I do exercises from my Essential Art Therapies book. Sometimes we do other things. And the other meetup is art for manifesting and focusing on your desires and what your goals are. So we make art about it, which is a lot of fun. And then we have guest speakers to learn from them as well. So congratulations, Maria. I hope you made it in here and you can hear that you won there you are, Maria. Did you hear me? Maria Gil Castillo?
Oh my God, thank you.
You're welcome. Super happy that you will be joining us. So thank you so much for showing support and commenting on other members, because when we comment on other members' posts, it really helps them feel acknowledged and knowing that they're not alone. Like, we're not alone here. You're not the only one that has these thoughts or feelings. So I do appreciate that you did that. So awesome. So for today's, what we're going to be focusing on today, I'm sorry, I have to stop share to like actually see my screen. Oh, and we have someone in the waiting room. I'm going to let them in. Okay, so I'm going to share again. Today's prize, share screen, is going to be the Thriving Artist Business Course. So this is an online course that you do on your own, and I've basically put pages on the back end of my website that kind of tells you the steps of kind of what I've been doing on the back end as a thriving artist, of like where to focus your attention, to get clear on your vision and your mission, how to structure your time, balance that masculine and feminine energy, how to market, how to build your tribe, your website, your offers, getting into the money flow, and then leaving a legacy, really thinking about how you want to spend your time and what you want to leave, right? Because it is about that big picture planning. So for whoever wants to participate today, which I hope you all do, that is going to be the prize for today. So all you have to do is post the art that we're going to be doing today and comment in 3 people's posts. Okay, super easy and it's fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing who is going to win that. All right, let me see if I have any more comments here. Where do we post? Okay, so I'm going to show you a picture, and then under the picture that I'll actually post in the Creative Soul Online Retreat group, you post your image under that particular photo that I have, and it says like day 2 win this prize, and then you comment on those posts. So it's super easy, and it's on Facebook, so it's in the Creative Soul Online Retreat group. And where do we comment? You just comment right underneath the person's artwork and let them know, acknowledge them. Maybe you want to, say something about them or support them in some way. That's okay if you missed the detail. I'm glad I was able to share again. All right, so I'm going to go back to the slideshow, and we will talk about what we're doing today. Share screen. Okay. And Patricia, this is what you're going to see in the Creative Soul Online Retreat group. It says day 2 prize, Thriving Artist Business Course, right? So you just post under that when I put it up. All right, so diving in. This says, most people are thinking about what they don't want.
I got to use the bathroom.
Oh, okay, great. Go ahead. And if you can mute yourself, that would be amazing too. It's so funny. Sometimes we miss those things, the little details. So most people are thinking about what they don't want, and they're wondering why it keeps showing up over and over again, right? So this is from the universe telling you. We have to be really, really aware of our words. Okay, so when I was going through the focus wheel, there were some comments on your wheels. So just to kind of double check yourself, we kind of put things that we don't want. Let me think of an example of not enough time to do self-care, or like you put it to the point where it was like almost like a negative versus what you do want. So when we put something that we do want, that's where the numbers are good. You could say 30 minutes of self-care, right? So you always want to put it towards the positive so that you're reaching to what you do want. And if you do have something that you don't want on there, go ahead and change it. You can easily change it. So numbers for measuring, and I discussed that so you could celebrate. So I'm going to give you an example. I know that yesterday I had posted, I want to go to Greece next summer, right? So, and I gave myself a 1. Why? Because it was just an idea. And here I am. And I'm thinking about travel. So for me to beat myself up over a 1 is not going to be helpful, right? That's not self-compassion. So that's why I'm saying, don't beat yourself up over your numbers, or not to put a number. Because as I'm thinking about Greece and making it fun, the flow state is a fun state, right? So when I think about creative flow and travel, I'm thinking about, I want to go to Mykonos and Athens and Kalymnos and Santorini and Milos. Like, I want to go to all these islands, and I'm thinking about my travel, and maybe I'll do some art about it. Maybe I'll get some images from Pinterest and I'll make a board about it. That is moving me up from a 1 to a 2. Like, even just thinking about it gets me excited, right? So this is why we don't want to beat ourselves up about it. It's just a number, and it's going to grow. It's going to move up as we focus attention. The numbers are for your attention, right? Not necessarily time. I don't need to spend 8 hours a day on that. It's just when it comes to me, maybe once a week, I'll focus on it. The same thing with like finances, relationships. It's just about putting that energy there.
Yeah, the whisker of hope.
Okay. And I said, give yourself self-compassion. Definitely being able to, let me see if I can be honest with ourselves and have some self-compassion with those numbers. So what do you think is stopping you? I'm going to get out of the screen share so that I can kind of see where you're at. I want to see the comments. And where do you think, in your life, what's stopping you from moving forward with the focusing? This is why I want to address it first, do the mindset. I'm going to go over some common ones. I know they said perfectionism, feeling overwhelmed, procrastination, COVID. Oh, no, we cannot blame COVID. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at that, but I really do feel like when we have a desire or want to do something, full-time job, long days, if we really want to do something, it's our responsibility, right? So that's when we get into reframing it. I want to like see what it is, and then we'll go into reframing your mind about it. But thank you for being honest. So being the breadwinner, full-time job, long days, being overwhelmed, procrastination, disorganized, okay? Old habits. Fear. Oh, that's a good one. Thank you for bringing that up. Fear. That's a big one. Imposter syndrome. Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Maggie. Okay. These are really, really good. Guilt for how I spend my time. Excellent. Okay. Not feeling good enough. Overwhelmed when it comes to the business side of things and balancing socials, website, e-commerce. Okay. So balancing your time. Lisa just says stress, overall stress. Okay. Okay. These are all valid reasons, right? Oh, there's another comment. Let me look again. Yeah. Balancing time, right? Yeah. The balancing time is important, especially with that masculine and feminine energy. Okay. So some common blocks, as I'll go over with you now, is perfectionism. I see a lot, cleaning, time, space, like saying that you don't have a space, belief in yourself, not making the creative flow a priority. Because like I was saying, like if you're going to do this, you got to focus on it. You have to say, I'm going to make this a priority, right? Another one is lack of clarity and direction, right? Another person says too busy with summer life, kids, house, pets, declutter. Okay, those are good. Thank you so much for sharing there. I appreciate it. I would like to see the Facebook. Let me just see the Facebook is, okay, I don't have any comments yet there, but we'll see. We'll come back to that one. Okay, so let me just go ahead and share my screen again. Let me get back here to my keynote and share screen. So we talked about the common blocks. And what does it look like for you? So this is where we're going to actually do some art, okay? I want you to, we're going to do the kind of like a diptych here. You can either, actually I have it here. We're going to have one for the block and one for the creative flow. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Let me see. So this is going to be your block side. If you feel like you need more space, you can obviously use a whole sheet of paper for your block, and then another sheet of paper for creative flow, just whatever you feel comfortable. But I do want you to do two so that you could see them. So what we're going to do is, let's go ahead and start with the block. What does it say? Oh, do I have flow here? Okay, let's start with the flow because I wrote that first. For some reason, I have that first. So let's go ahead and do the creative flow. So draw a line in the middle of your paper. On one side represent the creative flow, the other side we're going to do the block. So use line, shape, and color. We'll start with the flow. And I would say use several colors for flow. I don't think I could pick just one color for my flow, but if you want one color, I'd say maybe like 4 colors, 3 or 4 colors. And use line, shape, and color to represent. So this is kind of like an abstract piece. If it turns into something, that's totally fine too. We're just kind of going with it here. But I want you to see, what are those colors? What is that shape? What does your flow look like for you? And we'll just spend a few minutes on this, on your flow, what that looks like. Yes, I can share the common block screen again. Okay, so let's start with the flow. What does your flow look like? Let's do a flow one first. And we're going to do what the blocks look like too. So you want me to let me share. This is the common block screen. So when you think of flow, does it look like you're in your studio space? Is it fun? Or is it, you could be working at a table, maybe doing a mural, maybe you're just getting messy, or maybe it's very clean. You know, you're cutting up pieces of colored paper and collaging. What does the flow look like for you? Yes, you're drawing yourself in the flow. That's what we're doing. We're going to go to the blocks next. An abstract flow feeling. If something comes up out of it, that's totally fine. Okay. It's just like a quick check-in. We'll revisit this flow state on Thursday. Okay. So are we good? Are we good? Can we get a thumbs up if you have at least to pick the colors? I think that's really important. Did you pick some colors that would put you in the flow state? I see you all working, so maybe I should just wait another minute. Barbie writes, it made me think on how this last 2-year period may have been a tremendous reset for so many of us. Maybe that's why quite a bit of the wheels were mostly empty. And I think that clean resets in beginners' minds can be great. Oh, that's a beautiful thought. Thank you, Barbara. Awesome. Okay, let me go back to here. All right, so we're gonna stop our flow state, even though I know it's a beautiful state to be in. We will spend, I promise you, more time on this on Thursday. But I do want to go over the blocks because, like I said, everything is mindset, and being able to address the mindset is huge. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So we're switched some gears. You pick your colors for creative flow, what that looks like, line, shape, and color. And now the next part is let's look at what's stopping us. And this is kind of what mine looked like. I had my little flow, which is like the yellow, and then my block was like this like jagged edges. So now we're going to go into the block. What does the block look like for you? So you could use an avatar if you feel like drawing yourself and being like whatever that looks like in your block. If it's perfectionism, if it's like spending too much time cleaning, if it's the words that you say to yourself, whatever is that common block. Let's see, where is it? I had a list of them. Oh, here it is, common blocks. So belief in yourself, not making flow a priority, whatever that is for you, show what that looks like. Be creative here. You could use line, shape, and color. You can make it just lines. But definitely represent it in those two spaces. I'll give you a few minutes to work on that too. Okay, we'll spend about 2 more minutes on this. Just wanted you to get some colors in there and address it. Okay, so for anybody had missed it, we are drawing our block now. So the excuses that we give ourselves that stop us from creating. So just to go back to the story that I had mentioned yesterday of when I was going through that period of time with, like, my kids were little and I wasn't creating, and then I decided that I was going to create and making this commitment. I want to create, but I also knew that I wanted to create bigger, that I knew I wanted to actually sell my art, because before that I never sold my art. It was always just from a personal use, that I enjoyed creating. And then I decided I wanted to do a business and put my art into the world in another way. And it was really interesting because as I started creating and putting my art out there, this little voice in my head kept coming up and telling me that no one cares. And I'm like, where is this voice coming from? It's like, why does it keep telling me that nobody cares? And of course, that was my ego trying to keep me small so that I don't share my work with the world. And I really, really had to address it in a big way, right? Because if I didn't address it, then I would never make it to that next level. So this is why it's so important and crucial for you to address what are those thoughts, what are those blocks that are coming up for you. So I'm going to go back to, and let me share my screen. And so I had to create some affirmations. And the affirmations, if you're not familiar with them, they're just sayings that you would say to yourself on a consistent basis. And they, sometimes we have things that we're unconscious about. So I made myself aware of it, right? This is the first step, is your awareness. And then, like, it's kind of like that subconscious belief where you have to change it, right? You have to learn to change it. So, like I said, you need to name it to reframe it. And then when I reframed it I made some affirmations and I put them on my phone, and telling myself that my artwork is powerful, it's healing, and it's important in the world. So anytime that little voice came up in my head, I would repeat this, and I would sing it on an everyday basis. My artwork is powerful, healing, and important in the world. And eventually I believed it. And I do believe it. I totally believe it. And even, like, when I put a price on my art, like, I believe that it's worthy of that price, and that's the energy that it has, and that it should be paid for, compensated for that much. And so other, affirmations that I have are like, I honor my zone of genius. I am happy when I create, right? I am worthy of time for myself. So what we're going to be doing is we can help each other, right? Problem solving. We can work with each other in the chat. Like, if you are having a block, then what is one way that we can help you think of an affirmation that will counterbalance it, like knock it out, so that when it comes up, you're going to tell yourself to get through it. All right. So those were some of mine that have been really helpful for me. I'm going to stop my share. Would anyone like to be brave enough? Oh, I like this one. I have plenty of time and money. I like that. Most definitely. And Lisa, I noticed that you didn't put the money thing on your wheel, but this would be one reason that you should address money and put it on your wheel, right? Because if you focus on it, it expands. So when we have avoidance in some way, it's usually because we're not addressing it, or we're giving away our power there. There's no rush. I can create at my own pace. Beautiful. Yes. Yes. And that's what the focus wheel is about too. It's not like we're not in a race with ourselves. We're just acknowledging ourselves. I love this. Would anyone be willing to share their 2 drawings, their creative flow in their block?
Oh, I will, Leah.
Oh, it's Lisa. Okay, hold on. Let me find you. I know you're here. Hold on. There you are. Okay.
Hi. Okay, hold on. Wait. Gosh, I don't know how to reverse this. I don't know. All right, so I'll just click it. So there's my black. Can you see it?
Yes, the red.
Yes, the red. And like actual blocks and just stopping. And that's how I feel. Mm-hmm. Oops, sorry, not so happy. Mm-hmm. Right? And then there's just my flow, just like easy going. It's all in the flow, nice. Like the ocean waves, Yep.
Beautiful. I love the flow state. So what is an affirmation that could go with sorry, when the block comes up? What would you like to claim as your affirmation to deal with with the block? Because you had said like not enough time, and you had said some.
Yes. I thought like there's no rush, because I think I stressed myself out because there's so much to do. Hold on, honey. And so then I don't really make time for it. So yeah, I said some affirmations. I forgot them now. Hold on. Oh, there's plenty of time and plenty of money. And yep, there's no rush. I could just go with the flow. No.
Love the plenty of time, and there's plenty of money, and I'm being supported. Like those are definitely going to help you get into that flow. So when you are triggered, you'll be able to go back to it.
Thank you so much, Leah.
Thank you, Lisa.
Sure.
I like this one. It says, even though work takes up much of my life right now, I'm entering into a season of creative freedom. I'm beginning my work. Beautiful. I love that. I know that there's some seasons in my life where I am very busy as well. And I wake up earlier. I'll tell myself, you know, if I really want to, you know, be responsible, because this is what I want to put out into the world, then I'll make time for it. You know, it's kind of like this, like almost like a secret passion project that I might be working on. And I'll say, I'll wake up at 5 a.m. just to squeeze in that hour, you know, to have focus time, to have quiet. So you really do have to put it in the forefront to say, this is worth it. And it really makes me happy when I do it. And you feel so satisfied. So the whole creative flow is about the satisfaction of getting there. Secret passion project. Yeah, it is. Definitely. Passion projects that keep me going. I'm like a passion project freak, I guess, because I love them. I can't stop myself. Who else would like to share? I'd love to see your art, what the block looks like, and then what the creative flow looks like. Anyone else be brave enough to share? There's no judgment here. No one else? Oh, I can share. Someone said I can share. Who are you? Oh, Raquel. Okay, let me find you, Raquel. Raquel. Don't see you. Let's see, Rebecca. Let's see. There you are. Okay. I'm gonna add a spotlight. Okay, cool. Oh, hold on. Let me ask to unmute. Okay, I can't hear you for some reason. I'm not sure. Can you guys hear her? No. I don't know. I'm not sure why we can't hear you. Can't hear you. Yep. Raquel, do you mind if we come back to you? Maria said she'd be open to share. Would that be okay? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna come back to you. Okay, remove spotlight. And let me find Maria really quick. Oh, there you are. Oh, I just passed you. And don't be scared. I know it takes a lot of bravery to do this, but there's no judgment here.
That doesn't make me feel any safer. I'm just kidding. Okay, so see if you could see it. Yeah. So the block side is me. I think I've been struggling for the past couple of years. I'm a mom, so I kind of stopped drawing once the kids were around, but finding time, thinking too much, my self-worth. This is kind of just like an abstract, curvy woman self. I think too much about that. I'm my worst critic. I feel like I'm just lazy, like I'm just sleeping or just not being creative. And I know I have the time and just my heart. I just haven't been feeling it lately. And then this is the creative flow. While you were talking, I just kept thinking of like just moving freely and like clouds and trees and the wind and just really happy. I think I'm the happiest when I'm drawing outside, just, you know, in nature. And it's not even drawing like nature itself, but I just feel more creative with nature, I guess.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. That is amazing. And I'm so happy you're going to join us in the Creative Soul Society so that we can like nurture that, right? So it's not like a one-time thing. It's something that we have to nurture and make it a priority. So you got to put it on your calendar.
Thank you.
Thank you. Amazing. Awesome. And Samantha Davies has is able to share too. So here you are. Let me add you on here, and then we'll come back to Raquel. All right, Samantha.
Can you see?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so the black is the block. It's the rectangles, the lines, the kind of feeling in jail, the repetitive actions which I find boring and monotonous and kind of keep me locked in.
Mm-hmm.
And then the colors are it's kind of the block is the stuff that I don't like, I think. So and the flow is more just the spontaneity. I love circles and colors and shapes, and it often goes to flowers, but then sometimes I think, oh, it's just flowers again, been there, done that, more spirals, more flowers, and then I can get blocked again.
Oh, I love it. And your flow one is actually dripping, like it's flowing.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, beautiful. So yeah, so getting back into the creative flow. So looking at like where are we focusing our attention? We might be giving more attention to the block, right? So and our art can speak to that. Like how much do you have more energy in the block than you do in the flow? So it's good to look at the both. I didn't do mine. I'm sorry, I didn't do it on here. But if you have more energy in the block and you have less here, then it might say, oh, well, maybe I'm putting more energy here. So I want to focus more energy in that flow state. So adding more to the flow, right? So energetically, you're getting into that space. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Samantha, for sharing with us. And I'm going to come back to Raquel, and maybe if she took off her headphones, that was a suggestion. Maybe that'll work.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yeah, let me just find
Yeah, I took off the headphones, but I don't know, there was something in the set and it was weird. So here is mine. I use color crayon, so I don't think you can see, but the flow pretty much is just like a lot of curves. It's just like, I'm not really thinking, and I don't let like the overthinking take over. So I just literally go with the flow. Mm-hmm. And I just, then like sometimes with the block, it's like I let the inner critic sort of get that frustration and I kind of get stuck. So it's kind of like just like
oh, you just went out there for a second.
Oh. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you for 1 second.
Yeah. So that's usually my flow. It's just pretty much.
And what is your block? So what are some of the, is it something that you say to yourself, or what do you feel like is stopping you?
I think part of it's been fear of sort of like insecurities, whether, like it's my art gonna be good enough. Like I really love abstract art and not, I guess, intuitive. So I am always sort of thinking and comparing, like, is my art gonna be good enough to like make it into a business even? You know what I mean? Something that really speaks to myself, that I'm gonna be able to make it, other people connect with it. So that's usually my big one.
Okay, so what kind of affirmation would you like to use to help you when that fear comes up? Because it comes up, that ego will come up. Would you?
What I've been doing, and it has worked, it's something similar to, like my art is worthy and it matters, and there will be an audience for it, that it's gonna speak to it, and it's gonna touch their heart or their soul, and they will sort of identify with it. So that's been working with it. There's different type of art for different type of audience. So that's worked a lot.
That's amazing. Yeah. And I'm glad that you said that, because the more that you post and share, the people can find you, and your people will find you, who's attracted to what you're doing.
Yeah. So
awesome.
That's been helpful. Thank you.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. So if anybody else would like to, if say you might be stuck, you're not sure what your affirmation should be, but the words that we tell ourselves are incredibly important, right? So if you need some support with the affirmation, you're welcome to leave a message here or even in the Creative Soul Online Retreat group when we post something, just so that we can support you, because I really want you to, you know, take yourself to that next level. If you have that desire to, like Raquel said, that she wants to do a business, you know, when you open up a business there, it always, you know, it's like open up a can of worms, like Pandora's box. Like, wow, it really does look at your self-confidence and, you know, your business skills and how to market, and you got to like learn all these new tools. So it's important to be able to address those. Let me see here, just if there's any more comments. I've been blocked with coming up with an affirmation. Okay, Sandy, would you mind coming up here, or would you like us to, if you want to like type in what the block is so that we can help you with an affirmation? Which one would you like? I know you got to be brave to come up, but we're all here to support you. Okay. Did you want to come up? Nope. I think she might be frozen. Okay. So I will, let's see. Sandy says, I can do that. I've been blocked. Okay. So you want to come up. So let me go ahead. I see you here. I'm going to add a spotlight. And you want to tell us or show your art and your flow and your block, and then we can support you. Oh, you're on mute. So let's unmute you.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Okie dokie. So now.
You can just share it. You could, like, if you want to hold it up.
All right.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Oh, okay, there we go. All right. I was blocked. I was blocked on the block because it's like all the, you know, the flow for me is like, oh yeah, I'm not really the flow, but it's like, because I'm an abstract painter, so that that kind of OCD marking and stuff can go, but then there's a whole lot of blocking with time and guilt and perfectionism, all the stuff that we've all been talking about, and all the, you know, things that people have been saying. So anyway, it's like the block is just like, it's a wall.
So you want to have several different affirmations. So like, I'm worthy of time to create. And it's something else that you said. You said time. And what was the other one of?
Oh, I've got a whole bunch of, you know, those voices, art school voices and other voices of critics. And my, you know, self-confidence, a lot of things that hold me back.
Okay, so I am worthy of creating. My art has purpose. My art is meaningful in the world. I had those same exact things. That's why I created those affirmations about my art being powerful and healing for people. So you think about what your intention is for creating. If it's healing for you, and if it's you know, it's purposeful for you, it's going to be purposeful for other people. So that's why the affirmations are important. I'm just looking at what some of the comments were, if they were supporting you. Lisa said, she said guilt. Okay, so guilt with time would be I'm worthy of time to create. My work can be messy, you know, so we're gonna say it doesn't have to be bad art, but we're gonna say my work can be messy, my work can be expressive, right? Liz says that guilt seems to be a big one for people. Yes, it seems that that, you know, we don't want to take up space, or we don't want to take up time, but we need it. You know, we need this time to be ourselves, to connect with our soul. My art has purpose is a beautiful one. That says Raquel. Yeah, that's really powerful. My art has purpose. My art is important in the world. Here's another one. It's none of my business if the art is any good. It's my business just to make the art. Oh, that's a beautiful one. Right? So it's letting go of the judgment. So it's like there's the judgment aspect of like good, bad. And it's not helpful at all, right?
That's a very big deal for me. Yes.
Yeah. It was so funny. I'll make a piece of art and I have 3 critics at home, my 2 kids and my husband. And I'll make something. My husband will be like, man, that's so boring. Or he'll walk by. He's an artist himself. But usually he gives me really good critiques, but he might not like something. That's okay. Sometimes I don't resonate with his work too. And maybe I'll sell it. And then he'll be like, oh, well, maybe it wasn't that bad. I'm like, it doesn't matter whether you like it or not like it. It's someone's going to like resonate, you know? So it's letting go of that judgment that, you know, whether it's good or bad. It's more about expression, and that's the most important. That's what the flow is the expression, right? It's not about the product. It's about being in the flow. I'm just trying to read all these really good comments for you. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, someone's at their office and they can't speak up, but that's okay. We can come back to you, Denise, and you can always post in the Creative Soul Online Retreat group. So we can help you with your affirmations. Okay, Sandy, were you able to grasp some of those affirmations for you to use? Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Sandy. Okay, awesome. Thank you, all of you for sharing today. That was a lot of sharing, which was amazing. I'm going to, oh, hold on. Let me mute Sandy.
Thank you.
That's good. I got you. Okay. So lastly, I just want to share with you to win the prize. Oh, I didn't share my screen. Cheek, cheek, cheek. Share my screen. You'll see this picture in our group, the Thriving Artist Business course. Like I said, it was an online course. Just comment on 3 other people's posts. Give them, maybe you can support them by giving them an affirmation to know that like they are heard and supported, because like we need that, right? That's like juice for our soul. So we need to hear from other people. It's not just us. And then if you can't make it one day, it's totally cool. There is going to be a replay page, which I have on my site. Tomorrow, we're going to be focusing on creating rituals for art making. So I'm going to suggest several, and we're going to do a creative visualization. I'm going to make some art. And then Thursday, we're going to make some art too about like stepping in more into that flow state. So if you happen to have paint on Thursday, that might be more flow like. So if you want to bring paint on Thursday, that would be fun for you. If not, you can use your materials that you got. Markers would probably be better than colored pencils. But yeah, so that is it for today. If any other questions come up, please share in the group. It's so much fun to see your artwork and kind of see where you're at, and just to know that you're not alone. We're here to support each other. Oh, thank you so much. You're welcome. All right, so I will say goodbye. Have a beautiful day, and I look forward to seeing you in the group and all your artwork.